Hi everyone, Jamie Humphries here and welcome to another lesson where today we're taking a look at a special beginner's version of the classic AC/DC track Highway to Hell. Now when you first start learning the guitar, I think one of the most important things to maintain your practice is to keep your interest levels up and keep you inspired. Now I know from experience when I first started to play the guitar, there's nothing worse than being able to play only certain things on the guitar, but watching your favorite guitar players, listening to your favorite records and not being able to quite reach them in terms of your ability. So what we're going to do in this lesson is take that classic AC/DC song and arrange it in a way that's a little bit more approachable for those of you that have just started playing the guitar. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick things off by taking a look at the main riff. So I'm going to play it through for you first of all, and then we'll take a look at what's going on. 1, 2, 3. So on the original recording, both Malcolm and Angus Young are playing this track with a series of open position chords, which make the chord changes a little bit harder to achieve, especially with the strum pattern. And in some places, you're even using your thumb over the top of the neck to fret certain notes within the chords. So what I've done here is I've arranged this main riff just to use basic 2-string 2-note power chords. We're going to start off with the A5 power chord using your first finger on the low E and your third finger on the A string. So it's a whole tone stretch, 2 frets apart, and we're going to play 3 downstrokes. Okay, so make sure that you keep your picking hand controlled so that you're only playing those 2 low strings. You don't want to be touching any of the other strings. Then we're going to drop down to the 2nd fret to play the F sharp note. We play that 2 times and then shift up, and the 3rd time we play G5. So that's the same shape that we played in A5, but we're just with our root note on the 3rd fret of the E, and the 3rd finger is on the 5th fret of the A. So let's put that together. Repeat. And again. And then we play the F sharp and then back up to the A5 for 2 strums. So let's just break it down one more time, nice and slowly. Now, a couple of things that you need to pay attention to, as I've already mentioned, the picking hand, making sure that when you strike the strings, you're only using a very small movement with the pick so that you're not hitting the other surrounding strings. You only want to be concentrating your picking on the low E and the A. Another thing to also bear in mind is putting the palm, this outer edge of your hand, on the strings after you've played the chord to cut it off. You don't want the chord to doesn't have the same impact. So you have to keep things nice and tight. Okay, you can hear there where I put my palm on, it cuts the chord off. Another thing to do with your fretting hand is when you move your hand, make sure that your thumb stays in the same position. So as your fingers move, your thumb moves. From experience of teaching beginners in the past, quite often people will leave their thumb and they move their fingers and the hand gets in a weird shape, which will affect the clarity of the chord. So just relieve the pressure, maybe practice even just taking those 2 chords. And just practice moving between them, get used to that movement, and then apply it to the chord progression. Okay, so make sure that both hands are synchronized. The fretting hand is nice and relaxed. You're not grabbing and gripping too hard. And make sure that you keep that pick movement nice and minimal, just striking the 2 strings that you're fretting, and also look out for the palm muting.